X-Men 97 is nothing but a glorious beast of nostalgia. I'm sorry, I'm coming in a little bit hot. This show is diving headfirst into the rich and dramatic world of mutant drama that many of us, myself included, grew up loving. I mean, how many people out there had a brother that duct taped steak knives to his hands to chase us around like Wolverine? It was a different time. It was the 90s. This show is a direct continuation of X-Men the Animated Series, which is undoubtedly an old gem from the 90s that had us glued to our screens every Saturday morning. X-Men the Animated Series hit us at a time when the comics had just undergone a major makeover. 1991's X-Men #1 shattered sales records with its new, bold visual style. Gone were the punk-flavored costumes of the 80s, replaced by bright colors, bomber jackets, and pockets, more pockets, so many pockets. I've always had a thing for the X-Men. Maybe you can't tell. It all started with a Pizza Hut campaign when I was a kid, back when it had a salad bar. No one knows why. My love only grew when I turned into a teenager, and my friends and I spent our pocket money and quarters on that old X-Men arcade game at the bowling alley. Oh, crap, I'm old. And when I heard Disney Plus was reviving the X-Men, my expectations skyrocketed. But let's be honest, Marvel's recent stuff has been as exciting as watching paint dry. But surprise, surprise, X-Men 97 kicks some serious mutant butt. This show knows its audience, either old fans pushing 40, God damn, or those old fans' kids. They're bright, flashy action for the kids, but also some seriously sharp storytelling for us old-timers. Cyclops, Jean, Storm, Rogue, and Magneto. They all have real personalities and motivations. It's wild how much modern storytelling forgets to do this. But X-Men 97 nails it. Weaving in social themes without getting preachy. Take the second episode. Anti-mutant bigots storm the UN, echoing January 6th. Yeah, it goes there. That is some heavy stuff mixed with our mutant mayhem. But don't worry, most of the social commentary flies by quick enough that your 6-year-old won't bat an eye before the X-Men are off, blowing up Sentinels. But it's there, and it adds a layer of depth that keeps the reboot feeling fresh. If this is Disney's plan for the X-Men franchise, I'm all in. We just saw the first part of the 3-episode finale of 10-episode Season 1. Though honestly, the whole season felt like one long, glorious binge watch. The X-Men had to pull together to stop Bastion from taking over the Earth. And if that wasn't enough, they also had to deal with Magneto's genius plan of blacking out the entire planet. Cameos were in full swing for this finale. I almost needed a scorecard to keep track. Captain America, Iron Man, Psylocke and her squad, Polaris, Daredevil, Cloak and Dagger, Silver Samurai, Omega Red, Black Panther, and even Peter Parker and Mary Jane showed up. But in true X-Men fashion, it was our favorite mutants who saved the day. They stopped those idiot humans from almost dinosauring themselves with Asteroid M. Thank goodness someone kept a cool head, because apparently humans are their own worst enemies. But as with any good superhero story, there's a twist. The show's creator, Bo DeMaio, got the boot before the first season even aired. He's already written a chunk of Season 2. I know, we've just finished the jaw-dropping Season 1 finale of X-Men 97. The X-Men have thwarted Magneto's plan to turn Earth into a mutant's playground and send Sinister packing. And just when you think it can't get any better, Apocalypse shows up. Jake Castorena, the mastermind behind the show, practically cackled with glee, saying, "All roads eventually lead to Apocalypse."
My name is N. Sabano.
In the finale, the X-Men get yanked through time. Xavier, Magneto, and the gang find themselves chilling in ancient Egypt, face to face with a younger N. Sabano. And if you're not in the know, that's Apocalypse before it went all blue and purple, blurple, and terrifying. Now, if you're like me, go seek help. You're probably wondering, why is Apocalypse always such a drama queen? This guy doesn't just want to win. He wants to monologue about it. The creators, including Brad Winderbaum, and the directors, Emi Yanamura and Chase Conley, have teased that Season 2 is all set to delve deeper into this chaos. They've got everything planned out meticulously. So every epic battle, every sassy comeback, every plot twist is carefully crafted to blow our minds. So much so that you'll remember it. But not just Season 2. The show's success is already paving the way for Season 3, and Winderbaum and his team are feeling the heat. With millions of views, Disney Plus, and a fan base that's rabid for more mutant adventures, they've got their work cut out for them. But now, let's take a minute to applaud Bo DeMaio. He's the dude who took on the mighty task of reviving the iconic X-Men the Animated Series and friggin' nailed it. He was the mastermind behind X-Men 97, bringing our favorite mutants back to the small screen for a new generation. Bo's vision and leadership breathed new life into Wolverine, Cyclops, and the rest of the gang, making them cool again for kids who thought the X-Men were just those guys their parents talked about. Fans of the series love Bo's work so much, they're practically begging Marvel to bring him back. Some are even saying let this guy direct an X-Men movie. And you know what? It's me. I'm saying that. Coming back to X-Men 97, Cyclops and Jean Grey are rocking their old school duds from their days as Charles Xavier's star pupils. And it was nostalgic and slightly ridiculous, but you love them for it. And then there's Wolverine, Nightcrawler, and Storm, all geared up in their classic giant-sized X-Men #1 uniforms. But it's not just about costumes. This series knows how to hit you right in the feels. The original voice cast is back, bringing the characters to life with all the authenticity of a reunion tour. When Cyclops says something dramatic, I almost expect him to start a power ballad. X-Men 97 picks up right where X-Men the Animated Series left off. The X-Men are in shambles after losing their leader, Professor X. The series dives into fresh storylines, steering clear of the MCU's tangled web. It's all about mutant-human relations, political intrigue, and, of course, some old-fashioned butt-kicking. One thing I love about the X-Men is how relatable they are. Sure, they have superpowers, but they're dealing with identity issues, fighting for acceptance, and struggling with relationships. X-Men 97 manages to keep the original look while adding a bit of polish. The colors are richer, the action sequences are slicker, and those superpower effects? Chef's kiss. Mwah! And the theme song. It's like hearing your favorite childhood tune remixed by a DJ who puts down the glow sticks and actually gets it. The essence of the classic theme is there, but with a modern twist that disables your skip intro button every time I watch it. It all started back in March 2019 when Disney, which owned pretty much everything your childhood ever loved, decided to gobble up 21st Century Fox. They just snagged the rights to the X-Men franchise. At first, I thought Mickey Mouse had officially become the proud new owner of Wolverine and his mutant buddies, but no, they spared us from this. Now, Disney proved they could turn things around. They picked themselves up, they dusted off the flop residue, and gave fans something to cheer about. But here, I want to talk about the most precious thing in the series. Episode 5 of X-Men 97, titled, Remember It. The creators could have just chilled, riding on good vibes from the past, but it goes full throttle in Episode 5. They shake things up big time, flipping the script on us, killing our childhood, but we're all the better for it. At first, it's all the aftermath of the Madeline Pryor mess. The X-Men are supposed to be all smiles for the world, but tensions are high. They even have to do a TV interview with Trish Tilby, which shows just how crazy their lives are. The drama kicks up a notch when Cyclops and Jean's marriage starts falling apart, and Wolverine gets pulled into their love triangle. Meanwhile, Rogue has to figure out her feelings for Gambit and Magneto. The episode takes some inspiration from newer X-Men stories, mixing it with the 90s vibe. Nightcrawler feels sidelined, but the climax is wild. Cable shows up, things get chaotic, and there's a big showdown with the Wild Sentinel. Some major characters meet their end, and it changes the whole game. With big losses and romances in ruins, the series is heading into uncharted territory. X-Men 97 isn't afraid to shake things up for the sake of good storytelling. Then there's the post-credit scene. You know Marvel loves their post-credit scenes. This one's a doozy. The Apocalypse is in present-day Genosha. He picks up one of Gambit's cards from the rubble and we scream. Gambit's coming back, and he might be a bad guy? In the comics, Gambit was once Apocalypse's horseman of death, so this twist has intense drama. All in all, X-Men 97 is killing it on Rotten Tomatoes, a perfect score of 99%. I don't know who that 1% is, but I'll find them. They took all the good vibes from the 90s and bottled it up in this series. And with a 95% approval rating, this show is practically getting a standing ovation. Critics are throwing around words like extraordinary and simply excellent. You know, just butchering English. So, X-Men 97 is like the perfect blend of old school charm and new school flair. It's like they cracked the code to make everyone happy, from diehard fans to snooty critics.